So we felt like this was kind of the perfect time to put a video out on this topic, since it seems like the world is one big dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong? For those of you who don't know, we moved to northwestern France from San Francisco almost 6 years ago and haven't looked back. Or have we? We've been contacted by friends, family, strangers, asking for advice on moving to Europe from the US specifically.
So looking kind of weird.
It looks really weird. So it's been kind of an interesting conversation to have with people. That being said, we're not qualified to answer strangers' questions.
Yes.
We do get a lot of emails, messages on other, apps, that kind of thing, asking, hey, can you help me move? I need all the tax information. It's like, well, I'm not qualified.
We figured out for our situation how to do it.
Right. And for our situation, it was pretty straightforward since I have dual citizenship, both Italian and American. Our kids have dual citizenship as well.
Right.
Lincoln is allowed to be here because he's married to an Italian citizen.
I'm entitled to Italian citizenship through marriage, but I never actually sent the paperwork in, so I need to do that.
Yeah, get on that right now. But Lincoln does have the right to be here. He's got his residence card,
Right.
which is called a carte de séjour. And when we arrived, it was for 5 years, correct?
Right. Well, there were some delays when I got it because it was right at the beginning of COVID.
Right.
So I ended up getting it in March, I guess like 7 months after we'd moved here, or 8 months.
But we did make one major mistake. When he stepped foot in France, you didn't immediately apply for your carte de séjour.
Right.
So he had to pay a fine.
That's in EU law. It's, EU law supersedes country law. You've got basically 90 days, just being a U.S. citizen, you've got a 90-day visa. And if you don't actually start your process or submit the forms for your residence card, the only thing the country can do is fine you 200 euros. They can't send you back. They can't put you in a detention camp. They can't do any weird stuff. It's very specific.
Yeah.
That the only thing they can do, they can process it and they can charge you 200 euros and then you're good to go.
Yeah, but we're not encouraging that. Please, no.
90 days goes by pretty fast.
It does, especially when you
just moved.
You just moved and everything's a whirlwind and it's a big cloud of dust trying to settle. I guess we should parlay that into the French bureaucracy, which is the thing that everybody fears and chatters about. And is it really that bad? Is the bureaucracy really that bad? In your opinion, as someone who's lived here?
No, it's not that bad.
You just have to be very patient.
Right.
I think that's the thing. And as Americans, as in general, I don't think we're
not much
very
patience. Yeah.
patient people.
Right.
I'm not saying that to everybody, so don't leave a comment. I'm very patient.
My carte de séjour was good for 5 years, so it expires this month. And the rules for renewing it are file your paperwork more than 2 months before it expires, but no more than 4 months before. So between 4 months and 2 months.
And
I did that correctly.
You did it correctly.
They recently put the whole system online. There have been some glitches. And when they put it online, they also kind of got rid of all the phone numbers that you could call to talk to someone.
So we were fortunate from the get-go to have somebody that was referred to us during the closing process of purchasing the property who is bilingual and sort of does this for a living, where she helps people transition and not transition.
Well, she's a certified translator, so she's got a license to do this, and she's registered with the government.
She's helped us out over the years. I mean, there have been dips where we don't need her. We can get most things done ourselves, but with super important things like you remaining in the country legally, we use her. So lately we've been going nonstop with the garden, room makeovers, kids, and of course, all of the animals. But it's really important that I take a bit of time for myself every day. That's why I like to disappear to my favorite spot and play June's Journey, the sponsor of our video today. A free to download hidden object mystery game set in the 1920s with beautifully designed scenes and an intriguing story that follows June Parker as she solves the mystery of her sister's murder. And I love a good murder. I also love to decorate, and I have my very own island that I can customize with fun garden furniture, trees, and statues. One of the things I love is that the story is constantly evolving with new chapters added weekly, so you'll always find something new in the game. And who knew a murder mystery could be so fun and relaxing? You can play alone or even join a club to play with friends or other murder mystery buffs. You can download June's Journey for free by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Now I must get back to work.
One of the scariest things for us is having to call someplace on the phone, because they're even less likely to understand
Our French.
And we may not completely understand what they're saying. Because they speak quickly.
Yes. I mean, it's not always easy to navigate the system here.
Right.
It's difficult. One of the reasons we like it here, we feel safer.
Oh, yeah.
You are allowed to own a gun in France. Mm-hmm. It's just highly regulated.
Right.
You have to take courses, you have to register it, you have to get a clean bill of health, you have to go to a doctor.
Well, you have to have a license.
Yeah.
Either a hunting license or a sport shooting kind of license.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's you are allowed to own guns, but we don't have to worry about getting shot on a daily basis if we're just on the highway, someone points a gun at you and...
You don't really hear about gun violence here. It's not a lot.
Right. We decided to move with, younger kids, and that was part of our reasoning, is because...
Well, right.
It was getting scary.
San Francisco was starting to feel a little less... safe.
Well, not only that, I mean, we were in Connecticut for a bit, and there was an incident at their school where there was a guy outside with a gun, and it's like the school didn't even alert us. We had to read about it in the newspaper, and that was kind of frightening. There are bad people everywhere, but we just sort of felt a sense of calm coming here, and a sense of safety. I mean, we don't need to lock our doors, but we do. Mm-hmm. So don't come and try to break in, because Lincoln knows a karate chop, and we have dogs that'll eat you. In Paris, you need to lock your door, sure. But also when I'm in Paris, I mean, I don't feel as on edge as when I'm in New York City. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that one place is better than the other. This is just...
One thing I was really surprised to see when we moved here was people hitchhiking. Normal looking people.
Like with their grocery, but like a lot of people...
It's like, a normal thing. People hitchhike. And
in particular, right near the grocery store.
Yeah.
So people go get their groceries and they're like, I don't know how they got there, but...
They probably hitchhiked.
But most of them seem pretty normal.
They look normal.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd be picking up hitchhikers, but...
Well, I wouldn't know how to converse with them probably, so...
And I've seen people pull over. The car in front of me or the car behind me pulls over to pick up the hitchhiker. It's not an uncommon thing. Another thing we've noticed is even in the city near us, you see kids out playing without their parents, like helicopter parents following them around.
Yeah, I mean, we were...
That's what we were doing in San Francisco.
We were helicopter parents, yeah.
It reminds you more of like your own childhood, where your parents weren't always 2 feet behind you when you were out as a kid.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, I remember I had an extremely scary incident when our oldest daughter was a toddler, and we were at a park in San Francisco in a really safe neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I was sort of near the gate holding her, and there was a woman parked in a van with the door open, and there was a driver in the driver's seat, and she approached me, you know, the gate is in between us, and she said, "Oh, can I hold your daughter?" And I'm like, you know, just
No.
like I ran. You know, that was a scary circumstance. So that's sort of why we turned into helicopter parents, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So if you're looking to move to France with kids, like we did, I find that everybody has a completely different experience depending on the child. So we were kind of naive going into it, thinking that the kids would assimilate quickly and learn
Right.
French within a year. That didn't happen. We had a big issue with the French school system, and I know we could get a lot of flack for that, but
Yeah.
that's just our experience. There are some kids that come here and they love it. Our kids hated it.
Basically one way to do everything.
Yeah.
So the way they teach you to do something is the way you need to do it. So, and that's just, it's a mindset.
For example, if you're in math class and you were taught to do the math equation a certain way, if you figure out the correct answer but did it a different way, you're not going to get that correct.
Right.
It's like you have to do it properly. So just to be completely transparent, our kids do not attend French schools any longer.
Right.
And the thing that kind of sealed the deal for us and we decided to take them out was we had a meeting with the headmaster and some other teachers regarding our youngest daughter, who is quite shy,
Yeah.
needs to take time to get to know people and to feel super comfortable. They basically told her when she was
Yeah.
10 or 11 that she's not college material. Like she needs to plan her future and be, you know, do a trade. And, you know, I get it. It works for a lot of kids here, but for us, it was like a red flag. And we kind of said, well, we know
Yeah.
she wants to go to college. And
So it's a bit premature. But that's something they do here, and maybe they do it in most of Europe too. But when you're in high school, you're supposed to kind of decide what you want to do with your life, what
Right.
you want to be. It's not like you can just go to college and get a liberal arts degree and then figure out what you're going to do after that. It's not like going just to learn. You go to learn about something specific.
right.
So it's, like I said, it's just a different mindset. For that reason, they think if there isn't something specific you're going to learn that you need to learn out of college, you should learn something at a trade school instead.
Right. Some of our girls' classmates, you know, they were going to go to agricultural school and learn how to be farmers or other, I don't know what other trades they do.
There's everything.
You could pretty much do anything. So anyway, we decided to take them out. They weren't happy. We weren't happy. It was kind of like every day dropping them off at school, I would get nervous. You know, like I had to go to school.
I need to emphasize that this was happening during COVID and lockdown, so that made everything extra weird anyway. So, you know, that might not be everyone's experience. It
Right.
was just, I think it was the way things were going on at school weren't normal for them either.
Yeah, it was a tough transition. We pulled them out and now they're illiterate. No, they're both fluent. They attend a school out of New York City, like
Yeah.
a real rigorous
Online school.
online school, and it's been amazing. They're really happy, and they're both probably going to stay in Europe to go to university.
Yes.
I know our youngest is history, so she's, you
Yeah.
know, UK,
This is where all
Ireland.
the history is.
This is where the history is, so she's in the perfect spot. And our oldest is trying to figure out, does she want to do art or chemical engineering? But anyway, that's our experience. It's worked out for us. I mean, we're not very traditional people anyway. Thankfully, we got the kids into the right school and they're having an amazing school
Yeah.
experience. But don't let our story deter you from moving with your kids to France. Part of me felt like a complete failure, you know, bringing our kids here and
Right.
saying, here, go scamper off to French school and
Right.
learn and be happy.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case.
Well, I mean, the things have changed just because of everybody being connected online.
Definitely. Yeah.
It used to be back in the day when you moved to a new country and you had to learn the language in order to be able to do anything,
Yeah.
to communicate with anybody. You can get by very well now, either communicating with people by using Translate on your phone, many different ways, but you can even be online with kids that you knew from back in the US, which is what our kids do too. The whole idea of, oh yeah, if you're immersed in a culture, you're going to learn the language like really fast. It's not completely like that anymore, just because there's so much of the world is still out there that you can access that's in your own language.
I mean, we can read French, we can understand French. We're just not at the level where we can have a solid, fluid conversation with people, but we're getting there. And I'm amazed at our youngest daughter. People don't know she's American when she speaks French. I'm so proud of them, because I was just such a big dummy. I could never learn another language, But we're getting there. I think, by the time before we drop dead, I think we'll be good.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we have friends and family who are considering moving to Europe. Right now, my mother is planning on coming over for a couple months this summer to see if she wants to relocate, sell her home and move. And that's a big move. So if you're thinking of moving, there's so many different types of visas to consider, but we're not experts in that. So I got in touch with the nice people at Baguette Bound, and they have a YouTube channel and a website. So if you have any questions about moving to France, they are willing to help you. And I think they're quite knowledgeable, and they're super nice. So please stop. We can't help you. As far as the Italian citizenship goes, I know so many people are trying to get citizenship. They have a backlog of
many years.
From what I understand, they have 2 years to...
The law in Italy is that once you've submitted your information and it's all complete, they have 2 years to process it. But it takes them many more than 2 years. So a lot of people end up having to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
And forcing them to do it, but
faster.
Then that costs a lot of money.
That can cost. I did get an email from somebody, and they said it was well over $10,000 to hire an attorney, but they were kind of desperate to relocate. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. So our experience has been like a roller coaster, but do we regret moving here?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all, no.
It's been overwhelmingly positive, and the negative things haven't been anything to knock us off our feet or anything.
Well, the negative has just been regarding our renovation. And granted, I mean, not everybody is going to move to France and buy a chateau. A lot of people just want to buy a little flat in Paris or Bordeaux, or just have a little country home, and that's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
But not once since I've been here have I said, I want to go back to the U.S.
Right.
It hasn't crossed my mind, literally. There's certain things I do miss from the U.S., like, certain restaurants or food. It's more food for me, I think. Like Lincoln said, it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience for us. I mean, we have ups and downs, like everybody does, but that's life, right?
Yeah.
Shit happens. So the other important thing to consider is where you're going to live. Climate is different, obviously, in every region of France.
Right.
We happen to live in northwestern France, where it's pretty temperate, would you say?
Yes. Not really any extremes.
No, we're right on the English Channel. We don't get a lot of snow. It doesn't get incredibly hot here. We do get quite a bit of rain, so you have to be prepared for the rain if you're going to live in this region.
And wind, too.
And wind.
Mostly in the winter.
Yeah. But we get a lot of it because we're in a valley here.
Yeah,
so that's not typical.
Yeah.
We're odd. So I think I'm being selfish when I'm telling all my friends and family, come to Europe, come to France, come. We want everybody to come. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Don't forget to download June's Journey for free with a link in the description. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.